Amidst the holiday season, is the U.S. on the brink of peace or teetering toward all-out war in the Middle East? Recent events hint at escalation, hundreds of Houthi fighters moving to Gaza from northern Yemen. Israel, with its Western allies, increases warship presence in the Red Sea. Yemen's threat to target U.S. warships heightens tension. Evacuations in southern Gaza signal Israel's potential for airstrikes. Has Netanyahu's message to the U.S. signaled a path toward conflict with Iran?
Welcome to TFIGlobal, the antidote to mass delusion.
Benjamin Netanyahu just told Lloyd Austin that the U.S. is basically at war with Iran. Netanyahu said to Lloyd Austin, "We're fighting a war of civilization against barbarism." I can say that when we spoke, I expressed again Israel's commitment to achieve total victory against Hamas. And we think this is not only our war, but in many ways your war because you are leading the forces of civilization in the world. This is a battle against the Iranian axis of terror, which is now threatening to close the maritime Strait of Bab el-Mandeb. This threatens the freedom of navigation of the entire world. I appreciate the fact that you're taking action to open that strait. It's not only our interest, it is the interest I think of the entire civilized community. I want to thank you for the support that you have shown consistently, and I welcome the opportunity to talk about what else we're doing to have our common interests served. And now, the White House is pushing a veto of a UN Security Council resolution urging a ceasefire in Gaza. The United States vetoed a United Nations resolution this Friday, demanding an immediate humanitarian ceasefire in Gaza. Supporters called it a terrible day and warned of more civilian deaths and destruction as the war goes into its third month. The vote in the 15-member council was 13-1, with the United Kingdom abstaining. The United States' isolated stand reflected a growing fracture between Washington and some of its closest allies over Israel's months-long bombardment of Gaza. France and Japan were among those supporting the call for a ceasefire. In an attempt to persuade the Biden administration to change its stance and support a cessation of the conflict, foreign ministers from Egypt, Jordan, the Palestinian Authority, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and Turkey held meetings in Washington on Friday. However, their discussions with Secretary of State Antony Blinken occurred after the UN vote had already taken place. Picture the dilemma within the Biden administration: those who are resisting a ceasefire during this festive season. Biden appeared inclined to allow continuous airstrikes, even amidst Christmas celebrations. So, is the United States inching towards a full-scale conflict with Iran? Let's hear the perspective of former UN weapons inspector Scott Ritter, a former U.S. Marine Corps intelligence officer. The Biden administration has given Israel a green light to kill as many Palestinians as possible between now and the end of the year. At the end of the year, the Biden administration said Israel needs to shift gears and change its strategy. The most callous, indifferent, literally bloodthirsty policy one can imagine. It literally means the U.S. telling you can kill anybody and everybody for the next week or so. And so Israel is going to do that. We won't do anything to facilitate peace. The U.S. has given Israel the green light for a deliberate genocide against Palestine's civilians, a grave war crime playing out for all to see. At this moment, the United States is the main player enabling this atrocity. So, Merry Christmas, America, your role is anything but commendable. Scott believes the White House's stance is essentially to allow full freedom to act as they wish, essentially a carte blanche, when it comes to sending warships to the Red Sea. So that's the U.S. side of this. What will the Iran side, the Yemen side, the Houthi side, the Hezbollah side, what will those sides look like in the following week or the next 2 weeks? Yemen appears resolute in supporting Gaza, executing impressive actions geopolitically. Their strategic measures, shutting maritime traffic, have profoundly affected Israel, causing considerable financial loss and disrupting global commerce. Yemen's actions in shutting down ships passing through the Red Sea have prompted the United States to urgently seek a resolution. Scott Ritter further claims that it's crucial to acknowledge America's lack of military capability to tackle this issue. Presently, the U.S. possesses carrier battle groups primarily equipped for airstrikes, but these tactics have been in place since 2014 without deterring the ongoing conflict. Engaging a few dozen American planes or pilots won't intimidate them. The targeting complexities involved in addressing relocatable targets or missile systems in Yemen remain a challenge beyond United States' current capabilities. I played a role during the Gulf War. We sucked then, we sucked now. We don't know how to do it. We are going to have zero impact. What we are going to do is empower the Yemenis to know Maybe get that 1 in 1 million shot in, or 1 in 1,000 short, or 1 in 100. We don't know what the odds are, and sink an American aircraft carrier, says Ritter. Let's just be frank about the American aircraft carriers, a legacy system dating back to the Second World War. It has no genuine military road today other than the deterrence. The perception that it is a powerful symbol of American power projection, but that symbol was gone when it sunk. When you put Dwight D. Eisenhower, 34th U.S. President, under the water, 500 to 700 dead Americans. That's what at risk here. Why? Because the U.S. lacks the resolve to halt Israel's actions. This turmoil could cease instantly if the U.S. mandated a ceasefire for Israel. Instead, Biden's actions are jeopardizing not only American but also global security. There are talks of expanding the conflict with Hezbollah. Scott says, the U.S. can't beat Hamas, it cannot beat Hezbollah. The 10 times more prepared it is, they have 100 times more powerful weaponry. This action would devastate the global economy, especially the Western economies. Biden must grasp the reality that America can't single-handedly solve this issue. It exceeds America's capabilities. The U.S. lacks the military might to triumph in this conflict. While it can unleash airstrikes in numerous areas, in the Middle East, there's no military facility impervious to missiles. Iran wields substantial power and can unleash devastation akin to what was seen in World War II. If such conflict erupts, the region and everything it holds there will be decimated. U.S. lack the capacity to invade Iran. Even with the entire American military force, it's an unattainable feat. What purpose does this war serve? Only cause chaos upon chaos. It seems like the U.S. is heading into a massive war. If you allow this conflict to expand the impact on the oil market, on energy security, and what will happen to Europe and the United States, it will be a total collapse. Thanks to Biden. Amidst the holiday break, it seems this won't be a peaceful new year after all.